and then you could play your sample. So what I'm gonna do is pause the CD player, and I could play. All right, little hack. Your pad, your mic line pad is where your sample gonna be at. Your master volume is just your regular overall volume of this level that you set. So if I set it down here and then I bring the master up, it's still gonna be low. It's gonna introduce noise. But if I bring in a good signal, rule of thumb, keep it unity. You keep it unity, you know, and it's up to you on the flavor. All right, so let's get into it. With samples, I'm going to use the clipboard. So I'm going to use Shift Clipboard. Now this is going to be the process that I lay out through every pad. So I'm at my original, and the rule of thumb is to chop another sample. So the way I would chop samples is in the edit mode. This is the edit mode. So anytime you're trying to edit some stuff, is right here. Anytime you're trying to sample some stuff, is right here. Sample palette, and you go to edit module. So what I'm gonna do is go to sample and bank, and then it's going to be set sample parameters. That's going to be the first one. You're going to click yes. Once you do that, you go to start in loop, and once you go to start in loop, the cool thing about this, you can use your jog wheel. So I'm gonna make this a little bit better, but on your jog wheel, you're going to have it within milliseconds and fractions of a second. So usually if you at the 1 increment is very low. Same thing with the 2 is really low. The second decimal, I'm at the second plot slot of numbers. So my rule of thumb is go to at least 300. Right here, like start off at a 300. That makes sense. So, because if you chop all the way down here, it's gonna be hard to chop the sample because it's gonna be so fraction of a second. So let's get into it, man. So I got it at 0. And 0 is just the start. So what I'm gonna do is I shift. I'm gonna do this again. Shift. Anytime you're trying to take a sample, shift the pad, and then it's gonna ask you, do you want to put this to the clipboard? So to get rid of the sample, or not necessarily get rid of, for you to shift and move. So you can see right here, move and copy. So I can either shift like I did, and that's gonna mean copy. I already did that. So, or I can do shift, clip, and move. So shift, clipboard, pad when you're trying to go somewhere else, and then if you're trying to sample within the clipboard, it's shift, pad, clipboard. So now we got 2 samples. So the rule of thumb is to find, and this is what's cool about older samplers. You have to use your ears, you know, like you can't just look at the screen. And you know, I love the new technology, but I love the old technology in terms of just using my ears and figuring out where I'm gonna go, and you know, get real analog, man. Have some fun with it. So here go the chops. So I'm listening to it. So I like that little. So I'm going to. So just like that, I got it on the third slot of numbers. But if I want to get really finer, I can go to the second slot of the numbers and get. You know, so now what's gonna happen now, I'm going to shift, pad, clip. It's gonna ask me, do I want to overwrite? So basically what I'm doing is, since I have a new chop here, I want to go from this point. So I'm going to, I got the original sample, and then this is the the chop, that my first chop. So I'm going from another section. Once I go from that section, I can go from shift, add, clip, and that way I can copy it, and now I can make a new chop. And this is actually how you chop on the SPSX. I mean the SP404SX. It's pretty crazy. So, you know, let's get into it though. So we got this. It's actually more sophisticated because we have more room to move around. So I have this chop, and I'm gonna do the same process over and over. You know,